Welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team is currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2CD collection. You can find a link in the video description listing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's what our diggers have for week 258. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's get to it. First up, we have a team dig from Saint of Streets and Felicia Gladson. Wingames /puzzle/INV maze. I will be very surprised if this doesn't stand for Invisible Maze. We got fileid.diz, executable, help text, and a VBX, and whatever that is. Description.sdi or something like that? I don't know. What's the diz say? Invisible Maze, of course. This is an interesting game testing your ability to move the maze walker through a maze. Size can be from 5x5 to 30x25. The trick, you do not see the walls of the maze until you bump into them. Full help facility included? That's an interesting way of referring to a help file. I got some sort of word art going on in the text file here, which I'm not sure what characters these are supposed to be. Like, maybe those are the characters they're actually supposed to be, but they are changing with each row and column. Well, actually, it's every individual square is a different one, except the one in the middle is also changed weirdly. I don't know. But anyways, so May 11th, 92, R&R Enterprise, copyright 92, The Wizard's World BBS. Okay. So, introduction. Invisible Maze was originally written using Quick Basic version 4.5, then converted to Visual Basic. Invisible Maze is a relatively simple but sometimes challenging game. Simply put, you walk through a maze. What's the catch? You cannot see any of the walls until you bump into them. So, I guess it's probably going to be a pretty simple game when it comes down to it. Well, I guess let's check it out here. So, Invisible Maze, brought to you by R&R, and apparently registration is $10. And we got 5 registration buttons and 1 continue button. And also the cursor goes into a do not do something symbol when it's... That's weird. Anyways, continue. Please tell me your name. Okie dokie. So please stand by, a maze being generated. Okay, and we guess we've got our maze. There's our little character there. Got some direction. Well, I got a lot of hands pointing in different directions. This is the quit button. Can turn the scoring on and off. Size seems to be 15 by 15 by default. Okay, and yes, it said this in the text file, but there is the ability to save and restore. There is a maximize button. Does it maximize? Nope. Then I'm guessing this is help, or that just flat out shows the maze? That seems like a dangerous button to have, like, right on the front. And also, why did I suddenly get 50 points? Is this like golf? You're supposed to keep your score as low as possible? Oh, this is the new game button. Okay. So here we are. Let's try to survive the... Why can't I... What? Why don't the arrow keys do anything? Why doesn't the give me help option do anything? And context help... Well, at least context help does bring up the actual help screen, but why didn't the rest of it do that? Okay, what are the controls? The common controls are buttons used on many of the screens. Common buttons are mainly OK and cancel button. That doesn't tell me anything. Yeah, I have a funny feeling you have to play the game with these hand button things. This is going to get very annoying very quickly. Oh boy, it's even worse than it seems, because guess what? Like any good Visual Basic program that's trying to look for the mouse clicks on things that you have to click repeatedly, it's only checking the clicked state and not the double-clicked state. So if you double-click one of these hand icons because you're trying to move more than one space in the same direction, it doesn't work. Brilliant. So I didn't actually expect to find my way to the end this quickly, so I kind of wasn't recording when I got here, but I only got this far, so let's see what actually happens if we go down. Okay, so it shows the path we took, but just automatically goes away. Okay, gives us our score, and yeah, it looks like lower score is better. Okay, so it brings it back afterwards. So yeah, this could have taken a heck of a lot longer if I went this way at the start instead. But yeah, it seems to be the way it's generating the maze is that just looking at it, it's made in such a way that you can't have like sections that are like looping in on itself and such. So, or it could just be the way it generated this time, but So if I change the size of the maze, does that change the size of the window? It does change the size of the window. Okay. So if I set it to 5 by 5, that's a really tiny window. Okay, let's go with the maximum size this thing allows us to do, 30 by 25. This should be a considerably bigger maze, but at the same time, it might be very difficult to actually figure out how to get to the end, because I have these controls to work with. You know, it occurs to me that this is probably going to take forever, given the fact that you can't just... Again, it doesn't detect double clicks. So if you try to click the same direction more than once to go that way more than once, like this... See, I only went one space, but I clicked it twice. And again, clicked twice, only went one space. Well, okay, there is a wall there, but again... If you click twice, it detects a double click and doesn't move you. So that's not good for a game that doesn't have keyboard controls. So that was Invisible Maze. This game is, yeah, this is kind of not fun. Like, I'm all for mazes, don't get me wrong, but not mazes like this, where you literally can't see the walls, can't control yourself properly, and thus have to bumble around with mouse controls on an overhead view. Yeah, $10 software? I don't think so. Next up though, Matthew Belshin had a failed dig. DOSGames /arcade2/host31H, and this one failed for kind of a predictable reason. Okay, yeah, this is a VJ Planet's host for having a VJ Planet server running. I don't think there's much we'll be able to do with this. VJ Planets is something that it's kind of important to cover on Ancient DOS games someday, but there's a lot that goes into just trying to play this because it was primarily designed to be run over a BBS system, and it's basically it's a strategy game where you're trying to take over the universe, and it has a lot to it. Like, I mean, I can try running this, but yeah, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, I tried running the config as well, but there's nothing in here that has anything to do with just how it works or anything. So yeah, this is gonna be a failed dig, unfortunately. Matthew Belshin's successful dig is DOSGames /board/3D Tic-Tac. Well, this is the last dig he has in queue, so it better work. Well, we've got just the executable and an exactly 1 kilobyte README file. Interesting. Especially since the README file is dated 2 years later. And has an extension I don't recognize. CRS? Like, I have no idea what he means by that. Anyways, edit readme.crs. Hopefully we can actually read it, and we can. So this disk or file originated with Canada Remote Systems Limited. We hope you enjoy it. If you're... Oh, is this just for like some BBS or something? Well, no, it says enjoy the disk. So maybe this originally came from like some kind of floppy disk vendor and then ended up on a BBS, because I'm pretty sure that the Softkey people took all the software for these CDs from BBSs and did not use floppy disks at any point in time to get this stuff. But anyways, so I guess 3D Tic-Tac, or wait, would help if I help if I put in a 3. Tic-Tac, okay. So multi-level 3-dimensional Tic-Tac-Toe created by W.S. Bernstein and W.M.E. Lyle. This diversion is designed around the classic Tic-Tac-Toe we played as children. Never having fully taken advantage of growing up, Bill and Bill have created a masterpiece of adolescent trickery. Okay, so it's W and WM are both William. So otherwise they couldn't both be William, otherwise you wouldn't be able to get away with that Bill and Bill right there. But anyways, a game that young people thoroughly enjoy and adults leave in a state of manic depression. Or if you're a computer, claim that the only way to win is not to play. Okay, so black and white or color, I have a color monitor. Okay, now we're in 40 by 25 text mode. Or is it 40 by 25? It's gotta be 40 by 25. You can do more than 25, but you would need more powerful hardware than a CGA card, so this has got to be 40 by 25. Anyways, so we can use the arrow keys, and then, okay, so we go between levels just by going off the top and bottom. Okay, that makes sense. And then, okay, so home and end simply go to the top and bottom, and page up and page down go up and down, respectively, like immediately, without having to scroll off the top. So you don't actually have to use those keys, you can just use the arrow keys. So, as is typical with the 3D Tic-Tac-Toe games I've encountered, usually it's a 4x4x4 grid, as opposed to a 3x3x3 grid. So let's start here. Okay, the computer made a move. Let's go here. Okay, that was a smart move on the computer's part. What should we do next? I think the next course of action will be to go here. The computer's seeing through my trickery, but is the computer seeing through my trickery enough to block me on this one? Yeah, he is. Okay, and I'm incidentally potentially giving the computer an opening by doing that. So I should probably put a piece right here to prevent that from going anywhere. Well, I'm not seeing a huge number of options to me right now, but I think one place I can go, because the idea would be to make 4 in a row, but in any dimensions, right? So if I'm thinking diagonally, I've already got 2 pieces set up if I go like that. And yeah, the computer noticed that. So yeah, the computer's playing pretty reactively as well. I don't think I could spoof the computer by putting a piece here, although if I have to consider that regardless of which of these spots that I put a piece into, the computer's going to block it. Otherwise, the computer's going to end up giving me the win. But the trick is I can now selectively decide where I want the computer to move. Basically, I have the advantage here because I have control of the situation. So the question is, where do I want the computer to place a piece? I think I have more possibilities if I put a piece here. So I'm going to go there. That's going to make the computer move there. And then I don't think I have anything I can immediately threaten the computer with. Although looking at the board, it might be a smart idea to put a piece here. Uh-oh, now the computer's got potential advantage going here, so gotta block them. And computer have another advantage by going there. Like, the computer's setting up for a diagonal that way, but I've already got it blocked on the next level right here. And then short of that... Oh wait, yes, gotta put a piece there. Okay, let's see if the computer can catch on to my trickery. I'm going to put a piece here. And so long as the... Oh, darn it, the computer does have a 3-way. I have 3 in a row. So I have to put a piece here to stop the computer from winning. And yeah, the computer caught on to my trickery because that was where I was going to go next in order to set up a dual potential so that he wouldn't be able to... darn. This was worth a shot. Ooh, I see something the computer's trying. So, have to put a piece there to stop him. Now the computer's got 3 in a row, right like that. I kind of don't like where this is going. Okay, the computer just made a move I don't understand. Went right there, but that doesn't help the computer in any way? At least I don't think it does. Ah, well, it doesn't matter. The computer managed to find a way to get in a 2-line potential. Oh well, so that was 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. Plays pretty much exactly as I was expecting it to. And our last dig for today from Dookie is DOSGames /arcade/empire-nw. Oh, an empire of something. A couple map files, couple help files, and an executable. And all the file dates are screwed up except for that one help file, which says 89, so guessing this was made in 89. I guess the other question is, do these help files equate to plain text, or are they... Actually, I better do the Empire one. Or are they contained within the game? Oh no, it is plain text. Okay, so Empire quick reference. So we got pieces, armies, fighters, destroyers, stuff like that. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be a strategy game of some kind. And yeah, looking at the commands here, it looks like it's fairly basic in terms of like moving units and stuff. Although this is funny. Instead of putting in an actual command to quit the program, it just says, just hit Control-C. Yeah, fun fact. Before computers adopted the whole Control-Z, Control-X, Control-C, Control-V for undo, cut, copy, and paste, Control-C was a program terminator. I'm not entirely certain why it ended up being Control-C, but, you know, that's how it was in the days of DOS. That's why some of the original shortcut commands were things like Control-Insert, Shift-Insert, Shift-Delete, stuff like that. Or was it Control-Delete? Oh no, Shift-Delete works too. Okay, so, well actually, no, wait, we should edit that other help file just to see what else we got here, because that was just a list of keys, right? So, Empire, the war game of the century. Written by Walter Bright, copyright 82, 83, 84, and 85 by Northwest Software. It's saying here, Empire for the VAX running 4.2 BSD Unix is copyrighted. The binaries may be given away but not sold. Version for the IBM PC is available from Northwest for $40. Jeez. Introduction. This is an improved version of the Empire game that has been distributed by Decus for the VAX running VMS. So is this like originally a mainframe game or something and then converted into a PC game? I don't know. Empire is a simulation of global conflict between 2 to 3 implacable? I'm never really certain with that word because I'm not too certain on how that word works. No compromise is possible. Each must strive to annihilate the other. Well, that's not pleasant. War is conducted over a large map with land, sea, and cities on it. Each player manipulates his armies, fighters, and ships to try and smash the others to reach the goal of total domination of the world. Empire is not a video arcade type game. It is a thinking man's game, as it requires strategy and tactics instead of hand-eye coordination. Oh, the kinds of words used to glorify war. So something I'm already not enjoying is the fact that there is a lot of symbols used here to represent different kinds of things. Because you got all kinds of different letters to represent different things. And apparently the difference between player 1 and player 2 is simply uppercase and lowercase. So, I mean, in some ways that's kind of a good thing, but it also means that might get confusing. Especially since there could also be a player 3 and it's just an X with a bunch of numbers. Oh, and it's also using the alpha keys way on the left side of the keyboard for 8-directional movement. That's good to know. Okay, so yeah, there are a lot of instructions here, so I don't think I'm going to be doing too well at this, but let's see how this goes. So do you want the speaker turned on? Of course. How many players? 2 or 3? Let's do 2. And then set up for player 1. Is this player run by the computer? No. Okay, so now it's asking me how to display the game. See, look at that. It's saying that it could also display the game across a terminal connected to COM1 or COM2. I mean, that's telling me right there that this probably did start life out as like a terminal-based game or something. So let's go IBM Color Graphics 80 column. Do you want color? Sure. Player 2. Is player 2 run by the computer? Yes. And obviously no display for it. Okay, so we're in the game. Arrow keys do nothing. What did it? I was just pushing keys and suddenly stuff is happening. It's asking me if I want to move. No? Okay, look, it's saying valid commands, and it's just a whole bunch of letters. I can't do question mark? Help? Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. No, wait, that wasn't help. Oh, this is going very poorly. Oh, and now the arrow keys are doing stuff? What? I guess I'm moving my armies? Okay, so I seem to be stuck on a little island or something. Now, like, I'm trying to crush the defenses of this city over here, I guess, but... yeah, I'm not 100%... Your army marched into the sea and drowned? What? I guess I was controlling the wrong army or something? I have no idea. Like, the arrow keys are working right now. Although I can actually use... yeah, I can use the 8 directions on the other side of the keyboard as well. Why can't my armies take this city? Is this, like, impossible? Oh, wait, there it goes. Army was dispersed to enforce iron control. Okay, so I have 2 cities now. So how do I actually, like... oh, I set the city production to whatever S is. How do I change... okay, question mark actually does bring up those valid commands, but like that doesn't really tell me a lot, does it? Now I found the save key, it's V. V is the save key. Okay, the R key just sort of causes things to go automatically. Oh wait, the Y key. The Y key looks like it... okay. Okay. So the Y key is what allows you to look around and see what everything is, as well as select... did I do this right? So can I actually produce something else now? Can I produce submarines from here too? No? Okay, now the P key is allowing me to change production, I think. Maybe? Okay, there it goes. Okay, so I'm producing submarines from both of these places now. Which I'm gonna need because I'm surrounded by water on this tiny little island. Okay, I finally have a submarine. So I can start moving this sub around. Okay, I can't move the sub onto land, obviously. Ooh, can I attack a city with a submarine? Nope. Ship ran aground and sank. Well, that's no good. Okay, so, that was Empire. This seems like it probably would be a fun game if you knew how to play it. The problem is that this is how you reference your command list. You pretty much have to have a guide next to you telling you exactly what everything is to be able to play this properly. Or memorize every single one of those commands, which, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Not within the span of a short video. But at least I see that there is potential here, because the game is playing fairly quickly. It does support up to 3 players. I imagine this might get a little convoluted, trying to have multiple players on the same system, like all at once, but... you know, it does work, so, and it is fairly old, so, yeah, I don't know. Definitely not something I can learn to play in one sitting.